Sometimes the thing that we need to do is change. Sometimes the very thing we need to do is change. But we don't always allow ourselves the space to change. We don't always give ourselves a permission. We don't always think that it's possible to change. Oh, I don't want to be fickle. I've committed to this. I need to see it through. I need to see it through. I should want to stay in this relationship because the person is great. Never mind that I'm unhappy, dissatisfied. I should stay at this job, even though all arrows are pointing toward the exit. Or maybe it's some inner thing that you want to change, an attitude, a perception, a way of being, a mindset, a thought process. And it just seems, oh, this is just who I am. Every moment of who we are is who we are, and in every moment of our being who we are, we can become different, better, greater, more than, less than, a way of being. Or change is so hard. We can do hard things with practice. It's not about perfection. It's about practice. Because at the end of the day, the changes that we make actually lift us from the gravity of operating in some way that we no longer even want to be. Because the practice of change or the fear around change weighs more heavily than the weight of the gravity that we're used to, even though we don't want it anymore. Then we push down the thoughts of not wanting it anymore. We repress the nature of that. And we wonder why we're agitated, overwhelmed, angry, highly irritable. It comes along the way when we are not actually being authentic and listening to the voice within and practicing what it is that we hear. So many people wait until they're forced to change before they do so. And the thing about force is you don't really have control over the momentum of the outcome of that. You don't really have control. Let me put my D&D on. You don't really have control. So if I consciously choose, like this is no longer working for me, and I feel it in my body, I'm not going to make an immediate, decision around that, but I'm going to note it. This isn't working for me. I'm going to feel it. And then I'm going to start to itemize. It might be in my journal. It might be in my mind. It might be in my phone memo app. But I'm going to itemize what it is that isn't working for me. What's behind the thought and feeling that this isn't working? What's behind the angst and agitation? Let me investigate that because I do want to give it some attention. I do want to understand. I don't just want to think and feel. I want to know about it. Because then once I start to know about it and I begin to see it clearly and then clearer and then clearer, and then the clarity is like, boom, then I have my truest truth. And I can begin to think on change and how I might go about that. But that's a choice, as opposed to carrying on, even though we know we shouldn't carry on in this way, shouldn't, because it isn't working out, and then being forced to change. Now we've had no thought time. We've had no feeling time. We've had no processing time. We've not been able to peel back and understand and investigate the need for change. And now we're just in the midst of it. And here comes the victim. Woe is me, because life is continuously throwing me curveballs. Why is all of this happening? Pause. I am the common denominator in my life. You are the common denominator in your life. Most things we have an opportunity to see coming. Not all, but most. If we're awake and alert to ourselves. If we're carving out the time to understand what's taking place. Why am I agitated? Agitation is low-hanging fruit. Like, it's easy to access agitation as opposed to vulnerability. Woo! But change is likely to come when we access vulnerability. Maintaining the status quo is what happens when we keep on going for the lowest hanging fruit of agitation. Like, that's become the norm. Irritability, staying stuck in things with people, places, and beyond that you don't want to be around, or it's over, but you're still there. That's easy. The lowest hanging fruit of agitation, that's like the norm. That's the default, because it's been the thing that perhaps you've been practicing. And change, oh, that's something new. Yes, give it a go. Because accessing vulnerability and accessing the layers within ourselves isn't about anyone else. It's not like, oh, well, I don't want to, be soft and apologize or deal with that, because I don't want them to think that X, Y, and Z, they won, that I'm weak. Okay. So that means you're more okay with existing in your suffering and in the dissatisfaction of your current situation and circumstances. You're more comfortable with that than freeing yourself from it all by accessing a deeper part of who you are, because you're focusing on what the other people might be thinking. And guess what? They might be very happy to see you access vulnerability and evoke change. Who is the voice in your head and in mine? Often we're thinking more about what other people may be thinking about us than they are in fact thinking about us. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about who's thinking about them. We're all thinking about who's thinking about us, and no one is, because we're all thinking about ourselves. But what if we turn that around and say, you know what, I am going to start doing things differently. Take a shower. Notice, do you wash the same area first? Do you have a system? You enter the house. Do you have a system when you come in? Do you have a way of doing things in your life where it's sort of, if you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, I actually do. I wash my right leg first, whatever it is. Do it differently. Switch it up. Wash your back first. Come in the house, instead of just dropping your things, place them somewhere. Wash your hands. A lot of people don't wash their hands when they come home. Do things differently. Start washing your hands. Cleanse the energy of the life outside your walls. Begin to shift, pivot. Give yourself permission to change and practice it, because guess what? It's not for anyone else. It's for you. My change is for me. Any aspect of my life that I choose to change, I'm doing it for me. Now, everyone else will benefit, because it means that I've changed and now I'm in greater alignment in my life. And of course, that's going to positively affect, it's going to have a ripple effect in a positive way. In the same way that if I don't change and I remain irritated, agitated, angry, upset, overwhelmed, frustrated, full of anxiety, that's going to have a ripple effect and adversely affect everybody. We have a choice. We can remain the same and be in the discomfort of a familiar life, or we can begin to change and grow in comfort of a new life. May we be willing to practice change.